Hello and welcome everybody. I am doing this video to kind of celebrate my 2,000 subscribers. I cannot believe that many of you have taken the time to subscribe to my channel and hopefully get something out of my videos I've been posting. So I must say I want to thank all of you for that very much. I'm blown away. 2,000 subscribers. I never once would have thought that I would have got that many of you interested in what I do. So thank you very much. For that, I'm going to do a little tour of my inner workings, a tour of my shop, which is an absolute mess right now. A tour of some of my older projects I've done, some very complex things that I've done, and I'd like to show them to you. And then I have a couple announcements I'd like to make. So let's get to the tour. Let's head outside and take a look at a couple of things that I've done. This was one of my more ambitious projects. This was a stupid idea I had that floated around in my head for several years, and I set in and I built it. Now, it's a Craftsman riding lawnmower, but it's got a bit of a surprise. This mower is sporting a 550cc Honda motor out of a CB550. I want to say it was probably a 72-ish or something like that model. I had this motor given to me back in high school by a teacher, and this is where it ended up, in a lawnmower. This thing is absolutely insane. It is one of the things that I built that honestly, it scares the crap out of me. It is straight piped, so it's very loud, and it's extremely fast. This was a project, I did this probably, 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't even know why I built it. It was just one of the things that I thought, hey, this sounds like a good idea, and I did it, and I wished I didn't do it. This thing's nuts. Here's another little project I built. This here is probably a 1960s cargo golf cart. Now, I actually built this for somebody, and it's just kind of sitting there waiting for the day that they may come and pick it up. But it started life as an electric golf cart, and I did a couple modifications to it. Let's check them out. Under the seat of this thing is a Honda 350 twin cylinder. This is a CB350 motor. I want to say probably 70 to 72-ish model. And the guy wanted me to put it in a golf cart. So I did. This thing is also insane. It's really fast, and it's just a stupid thing that I built also. But hey, I built it for somebody. It's not mine, but it's cool. This contraption is a 70s model. If I remember right, it is an MTD lawn tractor. Well, it's had a few modifications. It's got a 13 horsepower Honda motor that my brother gave to me, and I built all of this, I don't know what you call it, tubing cage over the motor and everything like that. It's got a generator for charging the battery on it, and it also has a 2,000 pound winch on the back of it and some pretty wild ATV tires. I built this thing for just running around out in the woods and playing around. It'll go through mud holes and stuff like you wouldn't believe, but it don't see much use anymore. I have a different lawn tractor here sitting behind me that we'll take a look at, but there's not much lawn tractor of this thing left. Not much at all. The original hydrostatic rear end is in it, and that's about it. I mean, the front end is from an old 125 Honda four-wheeler, and it's been changed so many times over the years. I've had this thing probably for 12 years or better, I would guess, that I've had this thing and played around with it. This one has become my workhorse around here. It is I really do not know what year, I'm gonna guess probably in the 70s, a Sears Suburban lawn tractor. I got it it had the original 12 horse Tecumseh motor on the front of it, but it did not run for nothing. So I also got a 13 horse Honda motor here to put on it, and I have the original hood, but it does not fit with this motor, so I said forget it. And the original dash on it was all busted up, so this is actually a Murray lawnmower dash. But as you can see with the trailer on the back of it, this is my workhorse. I use this going down in the woods, cutting firewood and stuff like that, hauling anything I need to around the yard. This thing, I like it. It's a lot of fun to use. And here we have is my foundry. I built this thing probably, I would safely guess 14 to 15 years ago, and it has held up very, very well actually. The lid is starting to get a little thin on the inside. It keeps breaking out. And I recently, not long ago, put it onto an old lawnmower frame just to make it a little more mobile, a little easier to move around, but I need to do something a little sturdier. This thing, I would like to get a lot more use out of it. This is my chicken house that I built. I built this earlier in the summer and actually just recently finished it in the last couple weeks. So that was kind of delayed. Right now I have currently 2 chickens. I have 1 hen and 1 rooster. I had a whole lot more, but between dogs and other things happening, I lost quite a few. But I have 21 eggs sitting in an incubator right now, so maybe we could do some videos on taking care of chickens, just for the heck of it. That's making something. But this little house, I'm quite happy with it. The sides of it open up. I don't want to open it up right now. As I said, my 2 chickens are in here. I have to do something with my fence because they can get over the fence quite easily and get out. So I can keep them closed up in here just for the time being. All right, well, let's head inside the shop. Inside the shop here, this is where I store my 84 Honda 700 Nighthawk. I recently got this bike a few months ago, and I absolutely love this thing. I bought this bike off my brother because he kind of lost interest in it due to the health issues and stuff like that, but I absolutely love this bike. This thing rides like an absolute dream down the road. I can't say how much I love this bike. The tank is a different color from the side covers. This thing originally was a blue bike, but my brother, he had to put a tank on it. I guess the original tank was in really, really bad shape. So the red tank came off of eBay. But I have plans of stripping the tank and the plastic and stuff down and just repainting them a nice gloss black. I kind of want to get rid of the red and blue on it, just for the heck of it. This bike is, for the most part, totally stock and totally complete. Nearly. There's some little covers here that goes on the back sides of the car boots, and this side cover on this side of the bike, the one that covers the battery, I am missing those. By what I understand, the side cover on this side is considered kind of the holy grail for one of these bikes. They are very hard to come by, in really good shape, and if you do find one, you're gonna pay a lot for it. That's the best I understand it. This one right here, this is a 71 CB350. This is a motor this is a motorcycle, excuse me, that I am customizing. It has a SL 350 motor in it, which is kind of the dirt bike-ish version of the 350. It's pretty plain Jane, no electric start, just kick start. But that's what I want in this bike. I want it just absolute simplicity, just something fun to ride. I'm gonna chop the fender off in the back. I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do there with it and customize it. The tank still needs painted. The frame I stripped, sandblasted, and painted. The motor has been all cleaned up and painted. And it's just a work in progress. I've been on this thing, I touch it very seldom. I just really take my time with it. I need to get some parts for it. And for one thing, I'm to the point I need stuff like the control cables and the controls and a few other little odds and ends like that, just to kind of get me on to the next step of building this bike. I am totally taking my time with it. Actually, my 16-year-old son, he's quite fell in love with this bike. So I told him that if he learns to drive, I will teach him how to ride, and I will give him this motorcycle for himself. So it'd be pretty cool. I'm excited about getting this motorcycle done, just because it's a totally custom bike that I've built. I've never built a custom bike before, so this one's pretty cool also. If you notice, I have a thing for motorcycles. I absolutely love them. All right, like I said, my shop is a mess right now, but this is kind of what I consider my woodworking. I have a Craftsman table saw. I want to say this was a Craigslist find. It's kind of on its last legs. It has one of them direct drive motors in it, and it's got some pretty big issues with it right now, so I'm probably not going to get much use out of this. But I have another old table saw that I'm going to do a restoration on that be pretty nice. It'd be a lot better than this little lightweight thing. This is a good table saw. It's fairly accurate, but I want something heavier. Now also, a Craigslist find, I got this DeWalt planer. What one is this? It's the DW734. This planer it's great. I really love how this thing works. This was a Craigslist find. I actually bought it and the table saw and my miter saw here from the same person. He was selling out his dad's woodworking tools and stuff. I also have a joiner. This is a pretty old, I would be willing to say it's probably going on 30 years old or something like that, but it's actually a Harbor Freight job. It was something my dad bought back when I was a kid, and then I got it from him a couple of years ago because he had absolutely no use for it, but I use it constantly in my woodworking. A joiner, I think, is a must if you're doing a lot of trying to glue tight joints together, like two boards edge to edge. I also have a 12-inch Craftsman bandsaw. Now this thing, it doesn't see a lot of use much anymore. It needs a rebuild. It needs the new rubber on the wheels and just bearings and stuff in it. This thing goes clear back to when I was a very young child. My dad actually bought this, oh man, I would be willing to say at least 30 years ago or better. And it kind of went through all my brothers, and then I've ended up with it. I've had it for several years now, and I absolutely love having a bandsaw in the shop. As I mentioned earlier also, I have a Craftsman miter saw. This saw is really good. I really enjoy having it around. It's a handy saw to have. It's a 12-inch blade saw, which kind of sucks because 12-inch blades are real. Okay, over here, kind of tucked away on this side of the shop, I have what I call my metalworking tools. I have a 6-inch bench grinder that I bought from an auction several years ago. And I just made a heavy stand for it out of a old truck wheel and some scrap metal. I also have a 16-speed drill press. This is a Harbor Freight one also. It's been really good to me over the years. The spindle in it has a slight bend in it, so that it knocks its accuracy off, but it does the job. I also have one of these 4.5-inch metal bandsaws from Harbor Freight. Very, very handy to have for cutting metal. It makes it a lot faster, a lot more accurate. Must have if you're into metalworking. Tucked away here and just kind of holding stuff stacked on top of it. This is the old Craftsman table saw that I was talking about that I am going to redo. I need to rebuild a mount for the motor. When I drug this thing out of the scrap pile, it didn't have the original mount for the motor, and this motor's considerably larger size-wise than what this saw needs. This is a 2 horsepower motor, but I need to rebuild this mount because I'm not. So in the near future, more than likely, when my other table saw decides to totally give it up, which will probably be pretty soon on the project I'm working on, I'll be kind of covering this as a project, showing you all just exactly what you can do with a tool, a machine that was drug out of a scrap iron pile. That's where this one come out of. These old table saws like this, I'm sure they can be found anywhere. I mean, people either upgrade to something newer because they think it's better, or they just don't have any use for them or something like that, and they toss them out for scrap, and they can be had for nothing basically. And I mean, that's what happened to this one, so I'm looking forward to giving it another life here real soon. Alright, well, as I alluded to earlier, I also have a couple of announcements I'd like to make in this video. The first one is my next big project, and as you can see here, it's kind of the skeleton is started. Things are just kind of clamped together, but it's a boat. I am going to build a small boat. It'll be 8 foot long, 3 foot wide at its widest point, and just something fun. I've never built a boat like this, and I figured it's something new to learn. There's some woodworking practices and stuff here that to learn also. That I mean, be great practice learning new skills and stuff in woodworking. And yeah, I'd be looking for future videos. It's this far so far, but I have been making videos of it in the last couple weeks or so. I obsessed over this project for quite a while. It's something I had it stuck in my head for quite some time. I took some inspiration from some other YouTube videos out there of people building boats, small ones like this, and I thought, that's something I want to do, so here it is. I think it's going to be pretty cool when it's done. I'm really excited about this little project. And now for the final announcement. This one here, I molded around in my mind several times. It's something that I see a lot of YouTube channels doing nowadays. So I thought, well, should I or should I not? I really do not know. But I decided at 2,000 subscribers, I would give it a shot and see what happens. But anyways, I have started a Patreon page. Whether anything comes out of it or not, I'm not really too worried about. If you do decide to do something, excellent. I mean, I appreciate it for everything in the world. Just a little bit of something is a start to new projects. A lot of things I do are expensive, and just it's hard to get started on a new project if I don't have the finances. But I'm not asking for it. You don't have to. It's just something I thought I'd try and see what happens. Kind of the help I guess I want to say, kind of branch off on the Just Go Make It channel. I started this as an experiment and just to see if it's something I thought I wanted to do, and I enjoy it. I have fun. This has been a learning experience and a half making these videos. Just the things I've learned in project-wise that I've done has been a huge learning experience, and just the whole video making process has been a huge learning experience. But anyways, I started the Patreon just to kind of see if maybe someone out there appreciates what I'm doing. You know, I 2,000 subscribers. I know someone out there, I know all of you, that's showing enough appreciation to me. That gives me a reason to keep doing this. I'm enjoying doing this. It's a lot of fun. I don't get videos out as often as I really would like to, but you know, I've got a family. I've got 3 kids. I've got a wife, so that keeps me really busy, and that's kind of the reason why I don't have the money for much of my projects. But I mean, if it's something you're interested in, great. Yeah, if you don't care, hey, that's fine also. Just that's fine at all. Yeah, but I mean, 2,000 subscribers, 2,000. Several years ago, I actually tried a YouTube channel. I tried, and I had some pretty neat stuff on there, but it just was not going in the direction I wanted it to, and I only got like, I don't even think I had 40 subscribers. I don't even think I broke that many with it. It did not go in the direction I wanted it to, so I scrapped that channel, and I started this one. Now this is where I want it to be. I'm happy with the direction. I'm happy with the projects and stuff I'm doing on it. I really enjoy it. My obsession in life is building things, working on things, getting my hands dirty. It's what I love to do. And I mean, hopefully with these videos I make, I can inspire some of you to get out there and do something like that. You know, teach you all something that maybe you didn't realize you knew, or maybe you learned something new. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, to the 2,000 plus subscribers now, I can't say thank you enough. I mean, I'm super ecstatic, happy about it. So I kind of want to make this video just as a celebration, as a thank you. It's great. I can't say it enough. I'm blown away. I'm blown away, and thank you. So anyways, I know the shop was a huge mess. That's something I need to work on, but you know, kind of time out here is at times pretty limited for me, so I kind of make a mess and don't clean it up. Yeah, that's not the right way to do it. But yeah, I need to spend some time, get this cleaned up. As I said, the boat project, be looking for videos of that. I don't know when, sometime soon. The alternator videos, the alternator to a motor videos. Holy cow, wow. That was just an experiment that I was doing, and I get all kinds of questions and comments and stuff like that. I mean, that's absolutely great. I can't believe how many people out there are interested in this little experiment that I've decided to do. So I got 3 more videos, I think, in that series that I'm going to put out. I need to get to working on them. I think I'll get back to them tomorrow. As a matter of fact, if you can see back here, you see the alternator that I built. There it is in the vise. I'm just kind of working out some details in my mind on how I'm going to do the power testing, on how much power one of them is capable of putting out. So that'd be pretty neat. Be looking for them to come really soon. So, well, so to keep this video from dragging on any longer as it has, I want to say once again, thank you to my 2,000 subscribers, and at the next 1,000, we'll do something else. So I'll put a link below in the comments or in the description for the Patreon page. I'll put a link here on the screen someplace. And like I said, if you do that, that's awesome. If not, that's fine also. So, thank you, and until next time, get out there, get your hands dirty, and just go make something. Later.